Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna attempt to make a nice pizza actually. I've got my dough already made. I didn't go to the shop or get it. I actually made this myself using dried yeast. I will tell you how to do it. I almost went out the cupboard. Okay, so we have Sainsbury's Basic. It's a supermarket in the UK for you guys over abroad. This is dried yeast. Or is it fast action dried yeast? It's by Sainsbury's supermarket, UK version. You probably can get anywhere in any country, I suppose. I presume anyway. Get 8 sachets in it. This cost me like 80 pence. 80p other words. Yeah, cheap, and you get like 8 sachets in there. So I've already used that to make this dough here. I made 2 lots of this actually, because I might make some like little mini bread rolls with the other one. Because this one looks like it's been in there more. I think almost about the same. I think this was a little bit less because this was just over 800. Yeah, over 800 grams on the scales. Over 800 grams on the scales. So I divided this one into about 400 grams, and this one here, that one's in just the standard. Alright, this one is some brewing coming down. Oh, I'm doing something. I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, I'm back again. Yes, my brother just disturbed me for a minute. Anyway, as I was saying, to make the dough, I used water. Got like, I think I put about 400 grams or just over 400 grams of water. Well, 400 grams of water actually in a thing, just a measuring cup, up to 400 grams. Or you can have it as much as you want, as much as you need it. That's all I say. If you're making a lot of pastry, then what you do is you get, okay, I'm going to put these in simple ways for you. You get lukewarm water, probably about, if I can find my measuring cup. Hang on guys, just wait a sec. I'll try and find my measuring cup and then I'll show you. Right, yeah, that's it. Right. That's my measuring cup. Alright. Don't know if you guys will be able to see. I'll try and make it as simple and easy for you guys to think. I've actually cut straight to the chase on here, on the dough. It's going to go straight to the actual making of it and shaping it and stuff into like pizza dough, pizza like stuff. Anyway, on here, I don't know if you can see, they've got like numbers on here. Now I did you got 150. No, you got 50 all the way up to 950, all the way up to 1 litre to 1,000 milliliters. So I went to about 400, 450 of water. So it's on the actual measuring jug here. 450, is it litre? No. 450 milliliters, I think it is. 450 milliliters. Anyway, cutting to the chase, I put the yeast in some warm water into the cup, mixed up with this here into some warm water, put it in there, left it for about 10 minutes. You've got to stir it for a few seconds and then leave it to not hot water, don't put hot water in it, put lukewarm water in it. Otherwise it probably won't come out well. I haven't tried it with hot water, but I'm just doing it by the basics because I checked some of the forums about some of these pizza doughs, and they need to be like the right temperature. Now, what I've done is I got some strong white flour, bread flour. So, hang on, sorry about the shaking, guys. I'm just trying to get it straight for you. Now, I've got this here. Now, this is strong white flour by Cars with a double R. Making great baking moments, it says there. So, I've got some of that. Put some in the, put about, probably I think 400 grams of that in there as well. But I think it needs a bit more, because if it makes it too, I don't like it too sticky. I just like it so it's just right, like this. This is actually right. Yeah, no, sorry about that. Right, yeah, so this is nice and smooth. I want it so it's like elasticated, because it feels elasticated here, so you can bend it and shape it into anywhere you want. Now, I put the flour in to a mixer. I've got one of these food processors, so I put it in there. Put the flour in first, and then I put at least 2 tablespoons. I put that there for 2 seconds. I put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. So I've got this olive oil here. About 2 tablespoons into the mixer with the flour. And then I mixed it out for a few seconds in there. Just about, yeah, I'd say about 30 seconds. Because that's all I did it for. I left it in there for 30 seconds. But what I've done with the processor, I turned it on for a second, then turned it off. Turned it on, and then turned it off quickly in that. Just so it can, like, mix up the olive oil with this. Now, it makes quite good. Now, what you do, after you waited about 10 minutes, actually, let me go to the next part, actually. Now, what with the flour itself, the strong white flour, I also mixed just a little couple of salt in there. I put a little bit of salt in there, not too much, just like a couple flakes, just a couple of dabs into there, just to give it some flavour. Now, once I've done that, I got the water from the jug with the fast action dried yeast in it. I mixed it up and I put it in there. Not all of it at once though. Don't put all of it at once. Just put about half in first, and then put the processor on. If you've got a food processor, yeah, just use the food processor for it. If you haven't, just mix it up slowly, not like fully mixing it. Don't like turn it over or anything. Just mix it in. Now, once you mix it in slowly, you should get like, it should go liquidy for a few minutes, like as you would do like for batter, but don't try and put, well, the thing is, you don't want it to go to liquid, otherwise it'll mess it up, it'll get all too sticky and stuff. You want to keep putting a little bit of flour in there, as much as you need, until you get something like this, but it's gonna take a while to dry the actual stuff out. Now what I've done here, is I just left it in a bowl, this kind of bowl. It's just a standard mixing bowl. Put it in there, and I put cellophane over it, a little covering to cover it over. I use, what's it called, yeah, like a cellophane type, yeah, cling film. I put a bit of cling film over it, and just left it there for at least, well, I put it in there about, I think it was nearly 3 o'clock, and now it's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock now actually, nearly 8 o'clock, and left it for quite a few times. The longer you leave it in there, the more it actually gets bigger with the yeast. And then what you do, you don't put it in the oven or anything, just put it in a room at room temperature. That's what you want. You want to keep it in room temperature, but put the actual food wrapping over the top of it just to keep it so it's nice and warm, but keep it somewhere where it's quite warmish but not too hot, not too cold, just a medium temperature. Once you've got it dried, you should have something like this. Now it's probably going to be a bit sticky, that's why you have to put flour over it, just to give it that texture of like softness and elasticated. So you have something like this, like that, elastic. Now, then is, I put a bit of flour over it just a second ago, because I don't want it to stick. If it's sticking too much, you're going to have a little bit of problem with it. So, I've got it here, and I used, hang on, see if I can get this over here. Right, I used this. It's a measuring thing here, like scales. Now, thing is, I had 800. So 800 would, hang on, see if I can put it down here. Now 800, that's 400. So about 800 is about there. So from 0 kilograms to 800. Well, it was just over 800. But what I'd done, I just took it in half and put it into, so it was about 400. So it was either about 400 or just over 400 per piece. Like, so basically this was either just over 400 kilograms. So is this? Yeah, kilograms. So I've got about half. I'm using this one probably to do a couple of like pastries or something with it. Not pastries, but yeah, bread or something. So that'll go in their box for now. So we'll just put that in there, should be right. Now what I'm going to put on it is I'm going to do my tomatoes. I've got some baby tomatoes, the cherry ones, because they taste nice. They've got a sweet taste to it. Now I like sweet taste. I have some an onion, so I'm going to carve this up. So it's going to be very delicious on the pizza. And I've got a red pepper. So these are quite sweet. These are sweet peppers. They give it like a little taste. Yeah, nice taste. I have to cut the stalk off first though. I've got chopped tomatoes. Now this is going to be for my base. I'm going to use this for my base. So I'm going to get the chopped tomatoes and then I'm just going to lightly cover it. Now I'm going to show you guys when I'm done in a minute. So I'm going to have to pause this for a minute and stop it for a minute because I'm going to do another part for it in a sec. But I've got to try and show you all the dough stuff first, how to shape it. And I'm going to preheat the oven. I've got a new cooker, by the way, guys. No. Yeah, I've got a new fancy cooker. I've been keeping it clean. There's this one's, the last one was fucking dirty and it wasn't even working anyway. So this is quite good. This is on, you can check out my other video about it, but this is a good one. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to put the switch on the wall, which actually is on the wall anyway, it's on. Now, I'm going to preheat my oven to the highest, the max. So, max is about, it says it about, I don't know if you can see guys on my thing there. It says 200, but the one it says at the top is max, so it's about 250. So it's about, yeah, quite a lot of heat coming out of it. Now, I'm going to keep the oven closed off. This is the oven here. So, I don't know if you guys can see with the light on there. I've got the oven now. Now, close it up. Keep the heat in there. And yeah, I'm going to chop all this up. All these pastry topping things. Put all the toppings. Now, for the pizza base first, on the base, right, is mozzarella. First of all, I'm going to be putting chopped tomatoes on there first, over the top. That gives it like a sauce, because I haven't got tomato puree, which you normally have on pizzas. But I'm going to use chopped tomatoes as a secondary instead of like the tomato puree. I found out it's fucking delicious. Sorry about my language, but it definitely gives it a taste. Now, I've got mozzarella cheese here. I've got the basic. This cost me about £2.50, £2, something. Yeah, £2.50, something like that. Anyway, I've got the Sainsbury's basic again. Well, not basic, but Sainsbury's, by Sainsbury's. It's mozzarella. It's one of the pizza toppings for it. And this apparently is resealable for freshness, so I can reseal the actual bag, so that's good. Now, once I'm going to be putting some mushrooms on there as well, because you can't have a pizza without mushrooms, like cheese, tomato, mushrooms, and sweet peppers and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be sweet, and it's going to be delicious as well. Now we've got our mozzarella cheese. I'm going to put my onions maybe on the top first, and the mushrooms on the top, then a couple of the peppers. I'm going to carve this in the middle, take out all the seeds, because it's supposed to take out the seeds, and probably put some of my cherry tomatoes on top, and then to finish off, put some mature cheddar cheese, grated cheese. Now this is my first attempt at making a pizza, guys, actually. So let's hope I succeed. And I've used a pizza basin as well. Hang on, guys, get my pizza thing a sec. I should put that there. So if I can stick that there. There we go. Put that there for a sec. Where's my pizza base? Right, sorry about my breathing. I've got very bad breathing today. I've got cold and shit. Anyway, right, I've got one of these 12-inch pizza bases. Now I'm going to be putting this in the oven for at least about 15-20 minutes just to heat this up. Now what that does, it heats up the bottom so it can cook through the bottom of the actual pizza. I presume it's going to work. Anyway, I bought this for that situation. But I think it's supposed to have the oven really hot for it. So that's why I'm going to leave it in there for a good 20 minutes. So yeah. So I'm going to come back in a bit with not my final result, but for my basic result. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. And stay tuned for a minute.